Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Welcome to episode 55 of Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold, and as always, I am joined by my buddy from the Action Network, Dan Titus. Dan, Super Bowl week, baby. We made it. Now it's time to make some money. Time to make some money. How you doing? Let's go.
Doing great, bro. It's as you said, man, it's Super Bowl weekend. I think there's so much enthusiasm around sports betting right now that I've already placed so many bets, but it's only going to get worse from here. So I want to hear what you got in store, because I know I got to add to my card here.
Yeah. So I've made the mistake and learned from my past where the week before the Super Bowl, Pro Bowl week, I basically don't have any units left. I refuse to do that. And I refuse to have a card, so this is the notebook I use for gambling. Yes, I have a gambling notebook that tells you how big of a
dude. All the legends got the notebook right by their side, man. You're not the only one.
Not only that, I think this is book number 5, so that's quite aggressive. Anyways, so usually my book looks like this. It's just like the whole page is covered by the time we get not a week before the Super Bowl. So I've decided we're gonna be easy unless there's a huge advantage on the number, and I know that I'm gonna be right.
Right.
Sit it out. We're only going to pick like 10 big ones to bet this week. We'll bet a lot of money in all those. So I'm not like, this play I have a bet, this play I have a bet, this play. It becomes overwhelming and too much. And once I've had a little liquid courage, I keep forgetting what I bet. And I'm like one-eyeing my book. Did I have anything on that play? So I don't really want to do that this year. I'm going to try and take it a little bit easier. But I'm excited. Last night was at the Bucks-Lakers game. Got a little taster into Super Bowl week. The crowd lit. There's definitely an energy to the stadium. Deebo Samuel was there. Mike Evans was right in front of me. Great times. And wet the beak a little bit in terms of placing some degenerate bets. I had first to 10 points. Lost that. My buddy had Giannis to have a triple-double. We lost that. But we did hit the over 57.5 first quarter. So, yeah, maybe a little taster heading into Super Bowl week. But now it's time for some steak and potatoes of gambling.
The meat and the potatoes.
Meat and potatoes. Can't wait to get into it. 2 things we're going to get to before we talk about all of the props that we have bet. Best of the rest, the fun stuff, first touchdown, Super Bowl MVP, National Anthem. We're going to get to all of it later in the show. Before that, we have 4 7 stakes contests going on this week at Champions Round. Go download that app right now. Go enter the contest. Look, you got to win the contest this week in order to get the prizes. There's no shit for second and third place. It's Super Bowl week, baby. Only one champion, only one survives. But if you win, we got the sweetest giveaways of the season. I promise you that. We saved these up for this moment. Game outcome 7 stakes. Matt Stafford helmet. Player prop. Cooper Kupp helmet. The party props. Jalen Ramsey jersey. And then the halftime show 7 stakes contest. We got ourselves a Jamar Chase signed helmet. How about that, baby? 4 prizes, 4 7 stakes, 4 winners. Go download Champions Round app right now and try to win those. We'd love to send them to you. All right, next up, favorite Super Bowl moment. So we're doing a bracket on Champions Round on our social right now. Best Super Bowl moments since the year 2000. Dan, I know you're a Birds guy, so I'm assuming it's going to come from that Super Bowl, but I'd love to hear your favorite Super Bowl moment ever.
Yeah, it's easily Super Bowl 52, man. Like, Philly Special cemented, the Eagle fandom that I've always been searching for my entire life. They hadn't won a Super Bowl since 1960 at that point. We got there in 2004 with Donovan McNabb, and he couldn't get it done, although T.O. showed up. But, Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick, got to give it to them. That was easily the best moment. I remember just that night, man, I was in the West Coast, so I was watching. I wanted to go back home. Didn't have a chance to do it. I booked the first flight out just to get back there for that parade. So, yeah, easily the best moment for me. But want to give a shout out. I know you said till 2000. I remember going back even before that. I'm a bit older than you, but I remember the first Super Bowl I ever watched was 1995, where Steve Young threw 6 TDs. I looked it up. Dude, they were 18.5-point favorites against the Chargers in that Super Bowl. That's just freaking crazy.
It was 18 and a half.
18 and a half, dude. 18 and a half. That was the first Super Bowl I ever watched. I just remember, Steve Young and Jerry Rice, that was just a great tandem. But then also 99, the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner
Titans,
and the
Titans
tackle. That was a great
one.
one. Yeah, that was a great one because I just remember being with family and everyone was so hyped for Dick Vermeil to get the championship after what he did for the Eagles franchise back then. So that was a dope Super Bowl too.
I think the first Super Bowl I remember watching was whatever the one was in Arizona between Pittsburgh and Dallas. Mm-hmm. So maybe like 94, 95, something like that. I don't really remember what happened in the game. I remember seeing Bill Cowher on the sidelines, and I remember like being like, "Oh, this is cool." But that's all I remember. Right. The first game I actually probably remember watching was the Green Bay Denver 97 in San Diego, the John Elway helicopter at the goal line. That was
classic.
I kind of a little bit remember like the Desmond Howard return the year before versus the Patriots for Green Bay.
Dude, but like crazy he won the Super Bowl MVP, man. He's like one of the only kick returners to do that.
Yeah, so I like kind of remember that game, but like not really. The first one I remember like sitting down to watch, like, oh, this is football I have to watch was 97 for sure. Okay. My favorite Super Bowl moment ever 2 years ago. So I'm from LA. I never grew up with a team. I'd considered myself a very loose Chargers fan at this point just because of Herbert, but not really. I'm a fan of whatever bets I've placed that week and whoever's on my fantasy teams.
True DGen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that's why I ended up in this business because I had nothing to root for, so I needed something to root for. Anyways, so Chiefs, 49ers. I have a big pool. I do a big squares pool every year. Gets to the fourth quarter. It's 24-20. Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. And this motherfucker, Damian Williams, goes around the left side. He's supposed to get down. Nope. We're going to the end zone. We're going home with the Super Bowl trophy. Guess which one of us had the 1-0 to get to 31-20 on the squares?
Jesus.
This guy. I was so nervous for the Butker kick. Incredible that went in, and then just praying that Jimmy G did not go down the field and score any points. Get the interception at the end of the game, 31-20. My 1-0 hits. That was
crazy.
That was one of my. I think, that was my favorite Super Bowl moment ever. But
I've never won a Super Bowl squares, so that's why I never shared in that enjoyment, man. I always it just never works out for me.
That fourth quarter Super Bowl square when you've had a little bit too much to drink and all of your friends are around. It's different. I hope that you get to experience it one day. Hopefully it's this year.
Yeah. That's the Actually, let me know what you're betting on. I'll follow your way. Whatever you got going for the squares, I need to tail that.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're each going to do our top 5 props for Super Bowl 56. We'll talk about some of the best of the rest that we have on the board, some stuff that we've bet, some stuff that we're looking to bet, and then we'll do first touchdown, Super Bowl MVP. We'll finish with the National Anthem. So, Danny, floor is yours. Top 5 props. I'll start you off with number 1.
Yeah, number 1, I talked about it a little bit before, but I'm going to go with the Bengals total field goals over 1.5 made. I mean, this is really betting on Evan McPherson here. He's gone over this mark in 7 of his last 7 straight games. He's done it 12 out of 12 in the playoffs. I mean, the dude's lights out, and especially indoors, he's 6 for 6. He's a perfect 20 for 20 on the road. The way this game script is really shaken out here, I think that the Cincinnati Bengals are actually going to be pretty competitive. I'm betting the under on this game, so I'm actually expecting a trade-off on field goals here, and I know you talked about it the last time we got together. You love that combo of Matt Gay and McPherson with some pretty good value, and I got to be honest, I'm leaning towards taking the Matt Gay over 1.5 field goals too, man, and just adding to the card because I think these field goal kickers are going to be definitely active in this game for 2 conservative head coaches that oftentimes they're going to play for just to get the points. And we saw the Bengals struggle in the red zone throughout this season, especially in the playoffs. So yeah, I really like McPherson here to hit at least 2 field goals.
Yeah, worth mentioning that the Bengals have had 17 scoring drives in the playoffs. They have scored 5 touchdowns and 12 field goals. So it's a little concerning for them if you want them to, win the game. That they're not getting in the end zone. I don't think it's going to be any easier against the Rams here, especially at SoFi. So I would expect a lot of field goals game. Get it out quickly. That you get these conservative head coaches. You have 2 really, really good field goal kickers. I know that Matt Gay was short on the 47-yarder against the 49ers. That seemed more of an aberration. There's been rumors that he was a little injured, but he has 2 weeks off didn't seem like a serious injury. I'm sure that he will be fine for this one. And McPherson, I mean, he's the new Justin Tucker. So what else are you going to say?
Yeah.
I think that he'll live up to the moment. Indoors, it's going to be hot as hell in LA for the Super Bowl, 87 degrees, which, so this stadium, it's obviously has a roof on it, but it's open a little bit. It cooks in there. I went to a preseason game for the Chargers in the summer. It's hot, and I don't know what the air conditioning system in there is. It's definitely going to be toasty. Ball's going to expand a little bit. It's definitely going to fly further. So these long field goals definitely could be in play. A little interesting for the over 47.5 field goal over if you want to take that one too. But I do think it's going to be pretty ideal kicking conditions. You get these conservative head coaches. I don't think there's going to be too much issue moving the ball in between the 20s. And both defenses will do a good job in the red zone. So, yeah, I think it's all correlated. If you want the under, you take the over on field goals. You take the over 1.5 for both field goal kickers. I'm totally in it. And my number one prop here is what we talked about in the last show, which is over 3.5 field goals made. It seems perfect. And like all of those things, the under, the conservativeness, the great kickers, the ideal kicking conditions, the fact that it's going to be a little tight. You get all these Super Bowls first half, low scoring, everybody's a little tight. I think if you can do field goals, attempts, and over field goals made for the game, all 5 of those, I think will be great bets for Super Bowl 56. So we're all in alignment on that one. Go ahead and bet on kickers.
How far we've come that we're like our best bets are literally kickers right now, man. This is gold.
I mean, can I start off with my second one then? Because there's another kicking special teams one, and this comes directly from your boy Sean Corner.
Dude, I had this on my bets to make.
Huber over 52.5 longest.
Let's get
punt. I mean, he Corner laid it out perfectly on the Action Network that he expects there to be a 54 or 55 yard punt easily from Huber in this game. He's gone over it in almost every game. It was kind of hilarious that this is set at 52.5. We expect an under game, under 48.5. We expect to see some punt total set like 7.5 right now. So let's say that Huber gets 4 attempts at this. He's probably going to get one that's behind midfield. He's going to launch one. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter how far they return it, just how far it goes. And we just talked about it's going to be warm. It's ideal kicking conditions. You're not going to have any wind in your face. That ball expands when it's warm. These things are going to go a mile. I wouldn't hate doing it for Hecker too. Give me all of the over punting props in terms of length in this game.
And it plays right into the game script, right? Like we're expecting this low scoring game. Like, I mean, one of the bets that I'll get to later is the first quarter under. I mean, I'm expecting them to just trade shots, man. This is going to be a little game of chess here, filling each other out. It always tends to start a little slow and then pick up in the second half. So I think this is right. I mean, if all he needs is at least 3-4 opportunities to hit this. So I like the odds.
He might only need one.
He only need one. I mean, he really might only need one. Right.
I rarely feel like this about a bet, but I feel like I'm going to hit this first shot. Like as soon as his first punt's going to happen, it's going to be fit. I'm telling you, it's going to be 87 degrees. It's going to be so hot. I don't think that people understand that ball is going to fly here. It's going to absolutely fly. I know that you're at sea level, but these things are going to absolutely be monster punts. So we've broken down all of the punting and kicking. We've talked about the expansion of the ball and the heat. This is not how I thought that Super Bowl week would go.
Super Bowl sounds lit, bro. Like, let's get it. We got field goals. We got expanding balls, punters. Let's go.
This is literally like anti-Deflategate. We're like, the ball will expand. The ball will go far. Yeah. So this is what you come to this podcast for, is for kicking and punting props. God, I love the fucking Super Bowl. It's the best. All right. What's your number 2 on the board?
So I'm actually going to go to some star power here. I'm going to go Joe Mixon over 16.5 carries. This is just more about the game script. The conservative nature is Zach Taylor. But surprisingly, Mixon's gone over this line in 8 of his last 10 games, average of 19.4 carries. He's gone over in 16 out of 20 games as an underdog. He did it in 2 out of 3 playoffs games, including 21 against the Chiefs in the championship round. I'm expecting them to really focus on protecting Burrow here. You have a front line of the defensive line of Floyd and Donald and Miller. I mean, they're going to be trying to put pressure on Burrow a lot. So how do you neutralize that? You run the ball. And with this game script, especially if I'm thinking this under is going to hit, they got to feed Mixon. And I'm expecting him to get busy. Samaje Perine is not really used in the backfield at all. And I'm not expecting. I mean, he took a screen pass to the house, but that was more fluky than anything. So I think it's the best. It's the biggest game of the year. You're not going to not give the ball to Joe Mixon. So I think that they try to establish the run, keep him conservative, keep Stafford and the big players off the field, give Joe Mixon the rock.
All right. I like it. What's your number 3 on the board?
Number 3, going with Cam Akers under 65.5 rushing yards. And this is really playing off of, he hasn't practiced all week. No surprise after leaving the championship game with a shoulder injury. But I think Sony Michel did pretty well. And we haven't seen Akers go for more than 65 yards and 65 yards in any game. But he actually hasn't gone over 55 in any game since returning from his Achilles injury. So I think we're going to see a dual backfield here. McVay does lean towards one running back, but he might be more banged up than people are letting on. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of Sony Michel in this scenario here. 65 seems too rich to me.
And we get Darrell Henderson, who looks like he's definitely going to be back for this game. All the practice reports have been that he's been participating. So definitely could see Henderson breaking up the Michel Akers backfield a little bit as well, especially considering he can have fresh legs at least. I know he hasn't played in a couple weeks. So
and Akers has been pretty good in the pass game too. So, I think that there's other ways that he could still be effective. Just don't know if I believe in 65.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I am with you. And I'll mention that I also bet that under 65.5 rushing yards, and the Akers under 16.5 rush attempts is probably my favorite individual player prop of the game. 16.5, getting to 17 carries of Akers seems insane to me. So I definitely love that under.
Yeah, feel that.
All right, my number 3 pick, all 3, and then I'll add in a best of the rest here. 2-point conversion will be attempted in the game, -110. Just the way
Solid.
it kind of goes anti the low scoring part that you're going to be in the game and you're not going to need to. But just the way that the NFL is played these days, I feel like you see a 2-point conversion in almost every single game. So I genuinely think that this will happen. And of course, the DGen part of this is successful 2-point conversion plus 205. If I think one's going to happen, what do you think? I'm going to bet against it? Hell no. Double down on that shit. I love it.
Doug Peterson set the way, man. This is the way now. We will do this, and it will be. I mean, hey, so to that, I heard that the Rams are dialing up their version of a Philly special.
I was just going to talk about this. Okay, so we clearly heard this from the same place. So there are rumors that the Rams have dialed up this play with Odell, their own version of Philly special, throwing to Stafford. The way that this came up, I think it was an Action Network podcast, but Stafford to score 2 touchdowns in the game is like plus 18 trillion or whatever the hell it is. Rushing touchdown, so he gets like a 1-yard sneak, and then he catches this other one. Hilarious bet idea. If you believe in it, great. But there's another correlation here. Over 2.5 players to have a pass attempt in the Super Bowl. Over. It's plus 135. So obviously you're going to get Stafford and Burrow. All you need is a throw ball. It could be a double pass. It could be anything. Doesn't matter.
Who's to say it can't be on the Bengals side of the ball too? Jamar Chase probably got an arm. I mean, I'm sure that this is where you've been practicing all these gimmicky trick plays that no one's seen in your playbook to execute. So I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So the idea that this would happen, I know that this has been put out there. The way that this goes against it is if we get this really low scoring game, no one's going to be super aggressive with their play. Everybody be conservative, and we're not going to see it. But it is kind of like a little sneaky plus money hedge against the under. Is we're going to get some wild shit happening. So I kind of think that over 2.5 players to attempt to passes is fun. It's fun. I wouldn't bet $500 on it, but spring a little 25, live a little.
Yeah, no, I like that, man. Like you got to hedge where you can. So I think that's a really savvy, good find. I actually didn't even think to look into that market, but the trick play one definitely had my eye.
All right, what is your number 4 on the board?
Number 4 is going Cooper Kupp over 28.5 receiving yards for his longest reception. This is like me not wanting to buy into his total at 105, I believe it is now. He could do this. He could literally do this. I mean, maybe McVay schemes him on a jet sweep. He could easily get it that way. He could definitely get it on passing yards. So just in the course of his season, he's been very successful getting those yak opportunities. And with this Bengals secondary, Bates is a beast, but I think Cooper Kupp, man, he's proven that he's unstoppable this year. So I think he could scamper away for 28.5 yards. That seems a bit low.
Yeah, he's done that in 15 of 21 games this season. Like that one. Also, I kind of like it as a hedge against the full 105. I think it's an easier way to get there. Yeah, so right. I'm definitely with you. All right, let's go to some more DGen stuff before we even get to the game being played. My number 4 on the board, opening kick, touchback, -140. Like I just said, the ball's going to expand. Perfect kicking conditions. Perfect kicking conditions.
Every kicker touchback angle you can imagine here at Gambling with Gold.
It's the one thing that I can guarantee that's going to happen in the game is that it will be hot.
Expanded balls.
Expanded balls. Ball goes further. We bet the ball will go further. So, yes, touchback, -140. Absolutely no doubt about it. Lock of the week.
Yeah, that's so good. I'm definitely adding that to my card right now. This is why we do this.
This is why you come here.
Fucking awesome.
All right. Awesome. All right. I'll go with my number 5, and then I'll hit you back on the next one. First play of the game, pass, +109.
I'm with
reason I like this one. Rams about 45% pass first play of the game. Bengals are about 60%. Changes this line to be the expected percentage, like 58% or something like that. And then where I'm getting a little +109 on this. Plus, I think maybe everyone all week talk about being conservative. Maybe they just come out and slay your first play. I like the idea of getting your quarterback into rhythm off that first play. Little 4 or 5 yard pass. Just make them feel like, okay, I'm in the Super Bowl instead of just handing it off for 3 yards to Cam Akers or to Joe Mixon. So yeah, give me first play of the game, pass, +109.
I mean, this could still fit into the conservative game script because, as you said, like it's about getting a rhythm. Maybe Joe Burrow has to settle, if they get the ball, or even, I mean, everyone's got nerves, right? It's the Super Bowl. So how do you get them into rhythm? Throw a little quick pass to like 4 yards just to get everybody kind of going. So I like it. At almost even money, like you got to take it.
I want to say one thing. If I'm ever an NFL head coach, you can bank me on this. If I'm ever an NFL head coach, my first play of the Super Bowl will be play action jug. I'm play action, full handoff, going, I might bootleg it, and I'm throwing it 70 yards down the field. There's no better way to get into the game than to just let the arm rip. Even if it's incomplete, screw it. Throw that motherfucker as far as you can and let someone go get it. Loosen up the arm a little bit like that little kid in that Cam Newton commercial. I'm ready.
I like that, man. And you're right. Like I think most people are expecting the run just because of the conservative nature and Joe Mixon and protecting the line and all this stuff. And even on the Rams side of the things, it definitely tends towards the run. But it's the Super Bowl, man. They've been scheming up, drawing up all kinds of plays here. I think that they're going to get aggressive a little bit early, just try to get their rhythm. So I like the pass. I like the pass as well.
All right, love it. What is your fifth prop?
Fifth one, I know you were on the over side of this one, but I'm going to take Stafford under 5.5 rushing yards. If the Rams end up winning this game, I did end up betting the Bengals here at 4.5. But if the Rams lead throughout, there's going to be some kneeling. And I don't know that we're going to get, even though Matt Stafford's been really good in the playoffs with scrambling, I think that the Bengals defense is going to be able to keep him at bay here. And with the risk of those kneeling opportunities, like imagine if it's, he kneels 3 straight, this could easily go down. So I'm going to take the under on Stafford rushing yards here.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense if you think that the Rams are going to end up winning this game. Strong correlation between the under on rushing yards and them winning. If you can find a place to parlay that, I don't hate that. It's an interesting way to play it. If you can do Stafford under rushing yards, Rams to win, and last play of the game to be a kneel down, those same game parlay, strong correlation.
That's probably a really nice payout.
Yeah, so I don't know, FanDuel, DraftKings, someone's going to have a same game parlay that you might be able to place on that. I'm going to have to find someone in New York or New Jersey to go place that for me, baby. I like it.
Got guys for that.
All right, perfect. All All right, so those are our top 10 props combined. Best of the rest, stuff that we didn't fit into the top 10, but we want to talk about. First one for me, Rams to call the first timeout. We know how liberal Sean McVay is with his timeouts. He's called the first timeout of the game in the 9 straight games, which is hilarious. I haven't seen this prop, but coach to challenge first and coach to lose the first challenge, also like McVay.
100% McVay.
Yeah, so kind of love all of that stuff with like the McVay angle, but definitely Rams first timeout. Seems like McVay just, especially in the first half, just not care about these timeouts at all.
Yeah, I saw a coin toss. The first team decides to defer.
Minus 500.
So
I saw
minus
that too.
500. I mean, that's a pretty strong bet there. Obviously shitty odds, but I think you could still that seems pretty likely that a team would defer.
I think McVay's it's like 29 of 29 in his career deferring, and Zach Taylor's only taken the ball like 3 times. So yeah, that minus 500 should more be like minus like, I don't know, 1,500 or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mine, I didn't get a chance to bet the Huber punt yet, so I'm definitely going to do that. I also had the first play as a pass. I had that one on there. I'm waiting on this. I don't know. I feel like there could still be a little bit of movement on the total. So I've been waiting. Hopefully that can get to 49.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm waiting to pull the trigger on that under. But then also first quarter under, I talked about it at 9.5, 36% of the Super Bowl since 99 haven't hit double digits. And, if I'm projecting this to be pretty low scoring in the first quarter, I think this fits really well. So, those are the other ones I'm looking at right now besides the exotics, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it a little bit. The only other one that I haven't talked about yet is Odell over 65.5 receiving yards. I think he's going to be heavily targeted because they're going to bracket Cooper Kupp. Like I said before on the podcast, they're going to rush 3, drop 8. I think there's going to be room if they run zone for Odell to have a lot of receptions in this game. And I mean, he's just open. It seemed I saw something that said that he's open on 90% of routes he's run with the Rams. Okay. Yeah. So I think there's a good chance that he's heavily involved. Yeah, I think he's going to be heavily involved in this game. So over 65.5, like that one.
Curious real quick. I was looking at T. Higgins, his lines at 68. He's been more productive in zone coverage against zone coverages than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase tends to go off against man coverage. So yeah, I might be looking at some Chase unders here. It's definitely not something I want to be rooting against, but if we see him, potentially get locked up a little bit with Jalen Ramsey or whoever. I mean, Jalen Ramsey has been moved all around the field, but I think predominantly he's going to be in the zone in the area of Jamar Chase. So I think we could see T. Higgins probably get a little bit more open than they're used to. And Darius Williams is only 5'9", so you got a clear height advantage there with that opposing cornerback.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that Higgins ends up going off. And I guess we'll talk about this when we get to MVP in a little bit. But I definitely think that if the Bengals are going to win, Higgins is going to be heavily involved. I'm a little disappointed that I bet the Jamar Chase over when I did. I bet it the Monday after the Super Bowl at 79.5, expecting it to go up. I thought I would get a middle in the 80s and it would go up to like 88.5, 89, something like that.
Right.
And I'd have like that nice 10-yard middle. It hasn't. It's sat at 80.5. So definitely a lot of sharps coming in on the under side of this because obviously the public's going to bet the over.
Sure.
I might have to buy out of it and just take the loss on the juice or just let it ride. I forgot how much I put on it. Hopefully it's not that much. But yeah, I can definitely see.
you got to check notebook number 4 for that one.
Yeah, exactly. No, the notebook only says what bets I placed, not how much I placed on them. So,
oh God.
Yeah. That's always the danger. Yeah. All right. Let's move over. Why don't we talk about first touchdown? Always one of my favorite bets. I place it for pretty much every primetime game during the season. Love doing it. I have a rule that if I hit 3 in a row, I have to take all my buddies out to dinner, which is fun. So nice. I'm not going to get that on this one. Ruth Chris dinner once in a while on me. There was one year, I think it was 2 years ago, that I had like 3 ridiculous ones in a row. It was like Kendrick Bourne, Baker Mayfield, and someone else. That just like had so much money. I was like, all right, steak and lobster for everybody. I get it. I got lucky. All right. So first touchdown in the Super Bowl. Here are the ones that I'm looking at. Sony Michel plus 1,500. I love doing the quarterbacks on the 1-yard rush. Strong correlation to the under 1.5 shortest touchdown. That has happened in 18% of Super Bowls, by the way. No, sorry. 18% of touchdowns in the Super Bowl have been from 1 yard and in. So interesting to consider. Burrow plus 2,700, Stafford plus 3,500. The two wide receivers I like, Boyd at 1,400, Van at 1,600. And then here's the sneaky one. I like doing it in general, but now you might actually get value on it. The backup tight ends. Higbee seems fairly questionable. So does Uzoma.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about, Kendall Blanton at plus 1,400 and Drew Sample at plus 2,000. Do any of those stand out to you?
I do like the Van Jefferson. I did hear Chris Raybon was talking about on one of the podcasts that Van Jefferson actually had the same percentage of first TDs as Cooper Kupp at 20% over the course of the season. So you're getting at 10-1, 9-1. You're getting pretty good value there, considering how much of success he's had.
No, more than that. It's at 1,600 I got right now.
1,600. Oh, damn. Oh,
yeah.
All right, we'll say no more. I think that's probably the best one. And then also, like you didn't mention it, Joe Mixon. He scored the first TD on 25% of the Bengals, but I think that's probably more chalky, right? Less. I like the odds on Van Jefferson they're too good to pass up. So I think I'd probably go with Van.
All right, Super Bowl MVP. So you bet on the Bengals at plus 4.5. So I think that you think that they have a chance to win this game. As do I. I think this is gonna be a close game too.
Chance. Yeah,
but
yeah.
We'll talk about it on the Friday show. We'll give out our best bets. I think that we're both probably leaning on the same direction for a score and the team to win. That being said, I do think there's a lot of good value on the board, especially if you want to go to the defensive side of the ball. Again, this is correlated with the fact that we like the under in this game. We think it'll be a little nervy early on. I think that the defense might be more involved. Perhaps maybe even get a score, which I think is an interesting bet if you want to bet on
really interesting.
The defenses both being successful in this game. So I'll start off with my top MVP pick, and we'll kind of go back and forth on here. My number one, Floyd, 50-1, is kind of a hedge against the stars of the Rams defense. Yeah. Let's say that Donald is the guy who's getting pressure up the middle, but he's not actually the guy getting the sacks. Von Miller isn't able to get home. I think that Leonard Floyd is going to be able to at least have a sack or two in this game. If he forces a fumble, maybe, scoop and score touchdown, something like that, 50-1. I mean, there's only a couple of players in this game that had more sacks than he did on the season. I think only Donald and Hendrickson had more than him. So I really like him at 50-1 odds to be the Super Bowl MVP.
So that's the thing about picking a defensive player is that, Donald could get the strip sack and then Floyd picks up and takes it to the house. So where do you value in terms of the MVP market? It would probably go to Floyd because he scored the point. So I think there's a lot of outs with this one. And I picked Von Miller at 50-1 only because he has the pedigree. He's already won the award and he's just been lights out, in terms of his edge rush over the course of the playoffs. But you're right. I think you could choose one of these three. I think Donald probably has the shortest odds there. So, I think it makes sense to go for the Floyds and the Von Millers. But I could see a scenario where a defensive player does get it in a low scoring game. Potentially there's a turnover or, multiple sacks, forced fumbles, etc. So I like the Leonard Floyd pick. I like it. It's good.
All right. So we have Floyd on the board. We have Von Miller on the board. Jalen Ramsey is the other one. If he has two picks,
that's like 100-1, right? Like I love Jalen Ramsey because he's going to be used all over the field. You know how competitive he is. I mean, everybody's competitive. Like that's probably a blanket statement, but just saying like this guy has like he wants all of the smoke, like all of it.
Yeah.
So if he shuts down Jamar Chase, he has a couple of picks, maybe even has, multiple, 5-6 tackles. If he makes an imprint on this game, I could see him getting the award at those odds. That's pretty good value considering his pedigree. Like I would take that just because he has that star player attraction to him.
Yeah, I think this number started to come down a little bit. I see a 61 out there right now as
60?
the best number.
Okay.
So, 60 still pretty good. And then
still better than
from the Bengals side, T. Higgins, we talked about earlier. I see him at a 30-1. I know that someone at the Action Network had bet that previously at 61. Great odds by them. I do think that if they're going to win the Super Bowl, and I think that all the MVP picks are kind of like the anti-quarterback angle because who wants to bet the quarterback? It's like too obvious.
Right, exactly.
So Higgins 30-1, I think, is interesting. And then the real deep cut here, the best slot cornerback in the league, Mike Hilton, plus 20,000. That's 4 zeros. If he has, this is like the Stafford ultimate blow-up game scenario, but the Bengals don't play well offensively. So they win like 21-10. And Mike Hilton has 2 picks and a touchdown. Plus 20,000. Come on, baby. Bring it home. If I'm going to lose the Rams, which I'll probably end up betting money line or something at some point, I better win a plus 20,000 on Mike Hilton as Super Bowl MVP. We've seen weirder stuff happen in the Super Bowl before, so that would be my super duper long shot.
What are your thoughts on kickers?
Everyone and their mother wants to bet McPherson to win the Super Bowl MVP, so I can't do it. And I can't support it. We've talked about kickers, punters, whatever, everything. I'm in on everything.
That's where I draw the line, damn it. I will not do that.
You're goddamn right. No, boss. You can't do it. I mean, there is a scenario. It's like the Bengals win 15-10, 18-10, and McPherson makes 4, 5, 6 field goals or
in a game winner walk off. Yeah,
exactly. So there is a case, but this number's been bet down too much. Now it's like 80-1. He started off at like 400-1, 500-1. Like, okay, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Now that I said this, he's definitely gonna win, but whatever.
But yeah, I think it's an interesting angle, but like, let's be honest, like the kickers never get the glory, even if that like it's just so rare that would occur that I'd rather put my money on star players that actually, are going to get some meaningful. They're probably going to make more meaningful impacts in the game, assuming this isn't just a kickoff.
Yeah,
between these two guys,
I can't, in good conscience, support Evan McPherson to win a rookie kicker to win Super Bowl MVP. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, that's epic.
Well, if you would have at the beginning of the season just offered any kicker to win Super Bowl MVP and then a rookie kicker to win Super Bowl MVP, I don't even know if any book would have accepted that bet. Like for $1, you would have returned like 10 million or something.
For all Adam Vinatieri's done for his career and for others, if he hasn't gotten it,
he never won Super Bowl MVP. Adam Vinatieri never won Super Bowl MVP, and he single-handedly won 3 Super Bowls.
Right.
So I don't know. What are you gonna do? All right, last one before we head out. We'll be back on Friday. All of our best bet stuff. It'll be a shorter show than this. National Anthem. Mickey Guyton is singing it. I've heard rumors this week that her nickname is Quickie Mickey. So that is something to consider.
Interesting.
This has no sexual connotation for all you fucking weirdos out there. The total is set at 95.5 seconds. That would be one of the shortest anthems ever. There's not been an anthem that short since Billy Joel, whenever the fuck that old guy was singing it. The average is somewhere around 2 minutes. So this would be really short. 1.5 minutes is a really short anthem. But there was rumors that I saw this week. I'm reading too much Twitter this week. In practice for the national anthem, 76 seconds was how quickly she sung it. So,
jeez.
Do I think that she's going to get another 18.5 seconds out of this? No. I think that everyone and their mother is going to bet the over because the total's so low. Why wouldn't you? All of the history of the NFL's anthem suggests that you should bet the over. I'm a contrarian guy. Betting the under, 95.5 seconds. Lock!
Wow. So, who is the sources that says that they're recording 76 seconds?
Dude, I don't know. Schmojo94726 on Twitter. I don't know.
With no Abby. It's funny because I just did a podcast with Ariel Epstein of Yahoo Sportsbook, and she said that last year a friend of hers was actually on location for the Super Bowl doing something.
Oh my God!
And they actually heard sources. They heard the practice. They heard the rehearsal beforehand. They tweeted it, I guess, some rendition of it. And apparently they got, I don't know if they got fired or whatever, but they definitely got in trouble for it. But they pulled all of the national anthem props from the books from that. I wasn't on the offshores at that point. At least for the national anthem, I wasn't. But so I'm curious to see how tight-lipped they can actually be about this, because you're right. everybody and their mom's going to definitely take the over on this. I was going to take the over on just because that just seems like a really fast anthem. But if she's quickie, if she's quickie, what's it? Quickie what?
Quickie Mickey.
Quickie Mickey. If she's truly Quickie Mickey, she might live up to the name here. So I probably, man, now that you told me that, like, I wish I didn't know that her nickname was Quickie Mickey. Because, like, now I feel like I got to go under. So I might join you on the contrarian angle here and just take the under here and pray. Because, I mean, I don't need to sit there for give me another 30 seconds of something else. Maybe it's another commercial we can fit in there. So I'm good with it. If she wants to be quick with it, all the better.
All right, so max bet under, and it's
max bet under. And what odds are you getting? What odds are you getting on the under?
I have no idea, but I'll find it right now. I say that if we get the under here, we'll max bet it, and if we hit it, you and I have to get Quickie Mickey tattoos in Vegas next week.
Oh my god! Oh, shit.
I'm just
this is not going on record.
Oh my god!
Like, who's Quickie Mickey?
Yeah. The line.
You're probably getting pretty good value right now.
What's the line has gone higher. I have movement. Under
98 seconds now.
98.5 seconds and minus 110 to the under. Spicy.
Damn.
All right. I hope that this Quickie Mickey thing is true because I am placing bets. All right. That is a great way to end the show. Place a live bet on the show under 98.5 seconds. Absolutely. Love it. Quickie Mickey, please deliver us some winners before the game even starts. All right. Dan, as always, it's been a pleasure. Go join our 476 contest. Again, Stafford helmet, Cup helmet, Ramsey jersey, Jamar helmet. You have to win to get the jerseys and the helmets. So that does it for that. We'll be back Friday, 10 a.m. Best bets, Super Bowl 56. And then we'll head out. Hopefully we make some money. Good luck with all the betting this week. Dan, we will talk Friday. See you, bud.
Yes, sir.